So Charlie Critical had made a few statements addressing the tragedy that happened to Charlie Kirk. And multiple times he condemned what happened to Charlie Kirk, which is obviously a very reasonable thing to do. However, to certain odd individuals over on Reddit, TikTok, and even his own subreddit, by the way, well, some found it to be very offensive. How dare he condemn this?
And then I looked up the UFO stuff, and then Matt texted me if I heard about the Charlie Kirk thing. I had no idea what he was talking about. Immediately, first thing on Twitter is that video clip. It was fucking crazy. That was gruesome. Yeah, it was unbelievable day. Jesus. Fucking awful though, man. Yeah, hopefully they catch the guy. I don't know how they're going to, but hopefully they do. Because right now it seems like they're just arresting a bunch of like random old guys. I don't think it was a professional. I think it was just an absolute crazed maniac. But I guess we'll see. Hopefully they catch the person. It's fucking scary. Will you do a video on it? Probably not. Maybe once they catch the shooter, but in the meantime, probably not. That's just some heartbreaking shit. Usually the news stuff I cover is wackier. This one is just actually diabolical.
Well, after they caught Tyler Robinson, he ended up making that video.
So let me be crystal clear here. I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is fucking horrible. I think it is horrific. Awful. I think it is terrible. And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that to be disgusting. What happened here is bad. Even though I didn't agree with him from all of the things I've seen, it still doesn't change the way I feel about this being a horrifying, terrible thing that happened to him.
As mentioned, some people on TikTok didn't like Charlie condemning what happened to Charlie Kirk, saying things like, dang, L take from Charlie. Of course the famous YouTuber would have this garbage take to save face. Guess I won't be watching him anymore. Didn't think he was a white supremacist sympathizer. Oh wow, L take from Charlie. Yet he didn't show any compassion and didn't even say a word for Palestine. Interesting. And then you can see some duality there at the end. One user saying killing someone for a different opinion is peak fascism, and the other saying, I'll never have sympathy nor empathy for a fascist. On his own subreddit, there was a post titled, Let me get this straight, reading, in today's video, Critical claims he cannot opine the type of person Charlie Kirk was, as he does not have enough info on Kirk. He immediately follows this up by saying he confidently believes Kirk's killer was left-leaning based solely on internet memes. They then go on a weird rant about some like EDP stuff. I'm skipping that part. Charles White Jr. has sold out to the sensationalist, anti-intellectual, Asmongold-esque right-wing grift and has lost me as a subscriber of 15 plus years. Either stick to what you know or get good at the grift so you don't look so transparently hypocritical and slimy, Charlie. Another user saying, seeing a fence sitter stay silent during a fascist regime is not fun. And this one, who seems to be upset with Charlie referring to the assassin as a leftist, which seems to be referring to this part of his video.
Anyway, as of now, there's been a lot of misinformation flooding around with like different Tyler Robinsons and also like people making claims about whether he's a Democrat or a Republican, which is obviously a big subject here considering the motive being political. Now, with all the available information about what they found as well as like where he's potentially been, to me it seems like he's more left-leaning than right, but nothing is 100% confirmed and there's so much information it's hard to know for sure. A lot of people are saying since he grew up in a Republican household and there's so many photos of him at a young age around guns, he must be a Republican, but that's not always the case. Kids don't always grow up to be just carbon copies, clones of their parents and their beliefs. Like, yes, they're more inclined to follow those beliefs, but it's not always how it works out, and according to people closest to him, he got much more political over the last couple years, so anything could have changed. There's no telling for sure. But this definitely does seem to be a politically motivated assassination, which, if you ask me, is a horrible thing. And my heart breaks for the family that is now without a father.
Now, ultimately, of course, his full take on this matter was quite a bit longer than the chopped up brief version that I included in this video to just show you like some of the highlight areas that people were taking umbrage with. And I'll have both linked in the description because one comes from his channel and the other one comes from Penguinz0 clips, specifically like the stream highlight from the beginning. Nevertheless, it's absurd for him to get backlash for simply saying that this was a bad thing that happened, more or less. But it's also very expected as essentially anyone who came out condemning this stuff on the internet was getting backlash from like certain other parts of the internet. The wanton use of the words fascist and Nazi nowadays are also just absurd. You know, it's interesting how buzzwords that got watered down because they were overused progressively went from like racist to homophobe to transphobe, and now it's, oh, everyone's just a Nazi or a fascist. Lastly, I apologize for covering this a bit late. Some of this happened like a few weeks ago, some of it a week ago, referring to like some of the comments we read. But I found it compelling to still talk about, albeit rather briefly. So let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments, and thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I'll see you here and in the next one.